is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. We're joined now by Jemele Hill, author, contributing writer with The Atlantic. Make sure to check out the Unbothered Pod as well. And Jemele, you are the perfect person to have this conversation
That's right.
with.
I need Jemele for my backup right
Make
here.
sure you don't bury the headline this time.
Jemele, how are you?
I'm good. Good to be on with both of you guys.
So
You
I
know
went,
the shenanigans
I went to
are
some
coming, right?
Asian American food. What kind of place is it? Well, I don't know the name of it, but they have
Yes,
a
you
red
do.
box or whatever.
Mhm.
And I was buying Jemele like a small box of shrimp. And I look at the woman and I just said to her,
Yeah, keep this part. Say it how you said it.
so why are you counting my shrimp? No, I said, make sure there's some shrimp in there. That's what I said to her. This woman had the audacity to count my shrimp. Any other thing that they're putting, Jemele, they're just scooping and putting into the box, right? She's counted my shrimp. And I'm like, she gave me like 5 shrimp. It's like $9. What is this? So, of course, I call for the manager. I'm like, I've been eating at this place forever. No one has ever counted my shrimp before. Blah, 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 blah. I walked out because I'm not paying for 5 shrimp. She doesn't count the beef. She doesn't count the chicken. Why are you counting the shrimp? Am I wrong?
In this economy, Rob, you know why she counting the shrimp, because shrimp are considered a little more high end. They're more expensive.
Premium.
They're more premium. So it might have been a order that don't give out more than 5. 5 is your max.
But I've had more where I've never seen anybody like 1, 2, like actually count the shrimp into the box. That was the thing that got to me.
Now, Jemele, this is what I told him. I was with him in the first block. He told me that. I was with him. I understand how he like. I said the same thing. You said, look, it's getting tight out here. But then the second block, he comes back and said, yeah, I told her, make sure there's some shrimp in that. I said, Rob, make sure. You can't tell a woman, make sure nothing. Make sure. The minute she heard, make sure, all extra kindness, extra little, I'm only supposed to give you 5, but now I gave you 8. It's all gone. It's out the window. Make sure. It was a rat once. Am I wrong?
Okay, so it is definitely true. You probably triggered her. Even though you weren't wrong with wanting more shrimp, that wasn't the issue. But when you made it kind of come off like a command, even though you were in the right, okay? You guys know women well enough to know that what is the number one thing when it comes to dealing with us is like, you got to watch that tone. You got to watch the tone. Like, I could be wrong, but if that tone ain't right, I don't care.
Yeah, our producer Rob G was like, Rob, 6'9", standing over her, going, "Make sure I get some shrimp in that
there.
box."
The minute she heard "make sure," Jemele, all she heard was one after that. Make sure.
Yeah, it was done. It was done after that. And Rob, you kind of sounded like Chris Rock and "I'm gonna get you, sucker." Like,
right, I remember that.
He drove off in a $600,000 car. Like, I can't believe she only gonna be 5 scrimps. Boy, you arguing over some scrimps.
Hey, you know what? It's like WNBA players. They want more shrimp, and I don't know, Jemele. I don't have enough shrimp to give. They're making demands. I want to see them turn around this $40 million loss this past year.
Okay, so let me break it down.
So
it forever can be broke. Rob, you are a veteran journalist who has covered enough labor negotiations in Major League Baseball. What do owners always try to prove before or during any kind of labor tension?
They're not making any money.
Exactly. So let me ask you this, Rob. If the WNBA is such a bad investment, how are there 5 teams being added by 2030? If it's such a bad investment, how is it that the Golden State Valkyries team valuation is $500 million? The New York Liberties is $423 million. The Indiana Fevers is $300 million. They have 9 of their 13 teams are valued at over $200 million. The players see this. There's a $2.2 billion media rights deal starting next year. You damn right they want some more shrimp. Okay?
Yeah, but Jemele, what about the 30 years of shrimp they were eating when they were eating the government shrimp? And the W for WNBA stood for welfare. What about those 30 years?
Ignorant.
I don't know. What about the 50 years it took the NFL to turn a profit? What about the 45 years it took the NBA to turn a profit? And guess what happened during that time? They never stopped fighting for more pay. The players continue to make money. That's like saying, but this fine radio station that y'all work for right now, you mean to tell me if tomorrow if they take a dip in stocks or if they lose money, then you shouldn't be paid.
No, Kelvin's got to go. I'm going to be here.
That's a great point because that happens all the time. Stocks go down. We lost this quarter. We lost, $10 million, $20 million, but our checks still clash every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Look, Tesla lost money for 17 straight years. Elon Musk is now one of the richest people in the world. The whole point is this, is you cannot have a league that you want to take to the next level where the women are only making 9%. 9% of the revenue. Now, I'm not saying that maybe it should be a 50-50 split. I don't know exactly what the appropriate number is, but it can't be 9. Even UFC, which has a notorious reputation for not paying their fighters, it's 18%. So if you want to stop your product from going overseas and perhaps getting detained by a country like Russia, then you're going to have to pay them more money. This is part of how you elevate the league. You have to protect and invest in the players. And the women are just saying, listen, we were with this league because this was the case where we had to share hotel rooms, where we were riding on Southwest and not even getting in the A group, mind you. Okay. We had to go through all of that. So, yeah, you're going to have to run us some money. It only makes sense. They don't have a pension. They just, in the last CBA, they finally fought to get some paid maternity leave so they would still even get paid when they weren't playing. So these are important steps that we have seen every single league make. You know this as well, gentlemen, with the history of the NBA. The merger between the ABA and the NBA is what changed the salary structure. And even then, when the NBA was considered a terrible product, you had Kareem, you had Walt Frazier, you had Bill Bradley, you had a bunch of players making six figures. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was making more in the early 70s than the highest paid player in the WNBA is making now.
Yeah.
And that league, and the WNBA is in a far better shape than the NBA was before Magic and Bird basically saved the league.
Jemele, how many WNBA games have you been to this year?
I'm actually going to my first one next week.
Okay.
Aces Sparks.
All right. I'm glad you're going.
I had to go to that one.
That's always my argument.
Asia Wilson in the building.
People don't go unless it's Caitlin Clark. I mean, there's still a lot of empty seats in the league. This year, even with Caitlin Clark and her bump and all her magic and all that, still the league is going to lose $40 million this year. I mean,
but Rob, again, how much, this as much as I do. Those books can look however they want them to look. The reason why billionaires are tearing ACLs to buy sports teams is because they are amazing tax shelters. Now, when the NBA locked out in 2011, when they played a 60-something game season, the NBA owners cried and said they were losing $1 billion. In 1999, they claimed that 80% of the teams were not profitable in the NBA. They do this time and time again. They do it to create a narrative to turn the fans against the players when the players are the ones that they should be siding with. All I'm saying is this. We haven't seen a single P&L, a profit and loss statement from anybody. We do not know how much they're taking in. We do know that the league made over $200 million last year, and they're claiming a $40 million loss. I know in 2021, Steve Ballmer paid more taxes or paid less taxes than LeBron James. And Steve Ballmer's worth $130 billion. You know why? Because he claimed he lost $700 million with the Clippers. Now ask yourself, if it was such a terrible business and it was so terrible to own the Clippers and they really cost him $700 million, do you think he still owned the Clippers? No.
And you touched on so much, Jemele. We're out of time here, but that you touched on so much. I mean, when we had this initial conversation, I mentioned that, listen, are they over here turning hand over fist a bunch of money? Maybe not, but it took Amazon a decade to have a profitable year. It took the NBA, as you mentioned, 40-something years. My whole point is, if people are still willing to invest, then clearly there's something worthwhile, and they only want to get more than 9%. That was my whole point. 9% is incredibly low when you are the service, the goods, the product.
I would have offered them 6% and just meet them in the halfway.
And that's why you only get 5 shrimp.
Exactly.
And there you have it. Jamel,
All right,
we'll have you
Jamel.
on again
Yes.
when me and him argue about the Lions making. Now, you know she's not a Lions fan, so she might be on your side.
She's on my side on this one, Jamel.
The Lions making the
Jamel, no
postseason.
playoffs for the Lions this
sound
year. The
crazy.
windows closed.
Oh.
How about
Louisiana
that?
rub.
How about that for a hot take?
And hot honey wings is what I want. Louisiana rub and hot honey. That's the wings I want right there. You can keep your Lil William lemon peppers. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jamel. Yeah, appreciate you.
All right.